Hey, good morning, traders. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel, Jimmy Trades. We got Tuesday pre-market walkthrough. Let's jump over to the charts. We'll have a look what's going on over there. We'll check out the calendar as well, and we'll also have a look at the CL trade that I took during London session for 2R. Let's start off over at the calendar. And we have high impact news today, Tuesday the 14th of Jan, 8:30 a.m. core PPI and PPI month on month. Is the day prior to CPI, so potential to see a consolidation profile today. Just be aware of that. And make sure we're looking for A+ setups. Let's move over to the charts. And remember guys, please sub to the channel, like the video, and feel free to leave a comment. I do really enjoy interacting with you guys through the comments, so please drop a comment. Let me know how you're traveling. Let me know if there's something you want me to have a look at. A concept, for example, maybe a video idea that you might have, let me know and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. Also, a reminder too that you can always get 50% off Apex evals with code Jimmy, and currently 40% off Starter Plus accounts from My Funded Futures if you're a first-time user, and 20% off Starter Plus account. The 50k accounts, that is, for existing users. Okay, code Jimmy will always get you the best deal. All right, let's go and check out NQ. No, we're going to start on CL. Actually, let's start on CL. The reason being is I want to have a look at this trade breakdown. So we'll start on CL. So daily, I'll be honest, I didn't really consider too much the daily bias prior to this trade. Over here, we're looking at highs that have been swept back from July. It's not really recent information for my mind, so don't really want to be considering this too much. Obviously, you can see that we have had a reaction to that level. Is it significant though? Not really. I mean, yesterday's candle had quite a large expansion. This expansion, $2.75, 3.6%. So that's well above the average daily candle, with the average candle daily range being $2.05. So quite a large expansion. Over the last couple of days, actually, we've exceeded the average. But we can see we are pushing with displacement here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do continue to move higher, which is why I'm not looking so much at this level here. And because it is back from July as well. If we have a look at the weekly, it's probably a little bit more relevant if you look at the weekly, but even so, we might even see this level swept. And you can see on the weekly the strong move price has had over the last few weeks. Anyway, back to the daily. So we're still inside previous day's range. That's the first thing to note. Candle's still inside previous day's range. If we drop down to the 7 hour, we can see that the London, or the 1 o'clock candle, has swept both sides of the 6 p.m. candle. So we could start to see a seek and destroy type profile here. So I didn't really worry about bias as we moved into this trade. And at this stage, I'd be sitting neutral anyway. So I'm actually going to mark that on here. Because of where price is, we've expanded quite a lot over the last few weeks, we are at some old highs, some legacy highs, and we did have a small reaction to that. So I'd want to see, particularly now that it looks like we may end up with a seek and destroy profile, you can see Asia range swept both sides, and then, you know, we'll see now if price comes down, you know, does it move lower, and then do we do this? Okay, that's your seek and destroy profile, your consolidation profile, and you can use that to get in and out of trades. You just look for an entry at the extreme of the range back to the equilibrium of the range. So let's drop to the let's move up, sorry, to the hourly. This hourly candle, where are we? So we had the 2 o'clock candle here, swept a point of interest, so the hourly bullish FEG. We also see that this candle closed back inside the range of the previous candle. So this is your swing point candle, and then price expanded away from there. Now, this was what I was looking at. So when I jumped down to the 5 minute, now I only caught this trade on my top step funded account. So I missed it on my Apex and my funded futures because I wasn't quite ready with my trade copier and whatnot. So I only got in on my top step account. So ideally, I prefer the breaker to be formed inside the wick of this candle here. That didn't happen, but I liked that this candle, and this is the hourly candles here, right, guys? I like how this candle still closed back inside the range of the previous candle, and it was in a bullish point of interest on the hourly. So price did muck around a little bit, but once price pushed through, we closed through the breaker. That's when I took my entry, and I'll show you the execution. Here it is here. This is from my top step account. Zoom that in a little bit. So you can see the execution here, and I exited here. Okay, so what I liked about this trade, I got in on this candle. Once this 310 candle closed, we have a breaker with an FVG aligned. And then this candle came down. I was already in the trade at this point, but it respected these opposing candles. That's the first thing. And we got a nice push away. Then again, price swept the Asia high and pushed back down, but we respected. So I wanted to see it respect this candle, and what it did respect was 50% of the range. Okay, we can see how price came down and respected 50% of the range, and this candle is an order block. It swept this FVG, so price respects that level. And then again, we see price come down and test these opposing candles. Nice little reaction. So, I mean, in reality here, guys, there was 1, 2, obviously with the breaker entry, you could have got in on this entry. 3, if you wanted a retest of the breaker. 4, 5, there was 5 opportunities to get into this trade. Obviously, the higher you go, the less reward, but you know, there's still opportunity. And I was targeting these highs. Okay, and what I really liked about this trade was this low resistance liquidity that we put in. lovely low resistance liquidity. And it's, in my opinion, strong low resistance liquidity because of the amount of touches. You know, price touched this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 times. Okay. Will these equal highs come into play? There's a good possibility when when New York session comes around. So that's what I was liking. I kept my, and this isn't where I had the position tool. This is the actual setup I had. Okay, so I had a tick below the breaker and I targeted to but we can see just like a ladder as we move up and then off a cliff as it comes down. Again, putting in equal highs. So here's insight to order flow for you. We take steady steps on the way up, consolidate, fall down. We don't get a sweep here, so I wouldn't call this a breaker. There's no sweep. But plenty of opportunities to get into this trade. I could have got myself set up on my other accounts and managed to get back in, but I didn't do that. So anyway, happy with the win on a few of my funded accounts in any case. So I'm happy to see that, and hopefully that gives you a good, clear understanding of why I entered the trade and the trade management. And what I did do as well is, as price crept higher, trailed my stop to this point, and then I trailed my stop to break even. Once price had reached back past and closed past this level, I went into plus 5 ticks. Okay, so essentially I just went plus 5 ticks, something like that. And then I was able to walk away and have dinner. All right, so that's CL. So we've looked at the daily bias. We're neutral today, looking like a potential seek and destroy profile. And we've had a look at the London trade. All right, let's move on over to NQ now. We'll push out to the daily. Price ran lower. We were looking for price to run lower yesterday. Did have quite a large buyer's wick come in. We are currently positioned in a bearish FVG. Our target low didn't get swept. I don't think it did on ES either. No, it didn't on ES as well. So I was looking to see if there was possible SMT. Now we do have a candle closure back inside the previous day's range. So that's something we need to consider. Price didn't sweep an important level on the daily. So we still have these, well, this was failure swings here, not a swing low or an FVG. So what I'll be watching for is I'll be watching to see how price continues to react here. So we are reacting off the midpoint of the FVG at the moment. We're at a bearish point of interest. I'm actually going to stick with a bearish bias today. This was a strong close back inside the range, so that's probably my only consideration. If we do move lower, then I'm going to want to see how price reacts to the 50% level of this wick. That's what I'm going to be watching for. Let's jump down to the hourly. Clear that off. So we do see a change in the state of delivery here. Yes, it's a failure swing, but this is the first moment in time we get a change in trend. If we use the line tool, we can see that quite clearly. So I like to put the line chart on if I'm unsure, or if I just want to confirm my idea of where the change in the state of delivery is, and you can see it right here. So that's how I use the line chart to determine if there is a change in the state of delivery. And we can see that we have displacement. There's an FVG here. And price respects that FVG and pushes away. We've got an opening gap. Price filled a little bit of that, or most of that, and is continuing to chip away and move higher at the moment. If we look at the 7-hour chart, you can see the Asia range and the London range. London has swept Asia, so could this be a London reversal, New York continuation if we do see price move lower? Also on the 7-hour, you can see that price is inside a bearish FEG here as well. If we are going to get a continuation higher, well, we've already reached our target area. We have consolidation. Do we get a little bit more manipulation higher into this range, sweep these highs? Even I wouldn't mind seeing price push into this FEG a little bit and then distribute lower. But we can see we've tapped at that -2 and price has immediately reacted there as well. Right, let's move over to ES daily. Okay, so a little bit of a different story here on ES, and this is where we're getting, we'll have conflicting information because we know that NQ and ES are correlated. And right now, if ES is the stronger pair, you can see that ES had a bullish close while NQ had a bearish close yesterday. We had this nice buyer's wick. We are coming out of a bullish FEG. So now that we're inside a bearish FEG, so this being the most recent information, I don't want to flip bearish straight away because I do want to see how price reacts here. We'll also have a gap, opening gap here. So interesting to see how price reacts here, because for me, this is coming out of a point of interest, and this is insight to order flow that we could see price move higher. Where's that higher point? There's a swing high here. I'm actually going to say bullish for ES based on where price is currently located on the daily. And that's okay. We can have different biases on either asset. We can see this is where the change in state of delivery is. Let's have another look. You can see that clear deviation here. And there's displacement. So that's our change in the state of delivery. Moving from the low to the high because it's a failure swing. And you could use this leg here too if you wanted to. It's virtually the same. The only reason I was using that as a failure swing is because that's where the change in the state of delivery is. But we can use this leg here. So our target region is the -2 to 2.5. And price is a little way off that just at the moment. But that aligns with this bearish FEG. Price has already swept these highs, so we have an SMT at the moment with NQ. Let's clear these up. Right, so if we go over to NQ, we can see that SMT here. So that's something to consider. NQ has reached its target level into this -2 and is having a reaction. ES has not, but we do see an SMT. So SMT is confluence. I don't lean on it too heavy, but I like to see it and see how price reacts as well. So now we're going to want to see, does price find support in these bullish PD arrays and continue to climb higher? We still have room to move up to here. Right, let's move to Euro futures, the daily. You can see quite a strong candle closure here, back inside the range after sweeping out the low here. So I do like this, although price is in a bearish FEG at the moment and is respecting the midpoint of that level. I'd like to see price run higher just because we have swept the low. Bullish point of interest. We've swept the low. We had a strong candle closure back inside the range of the previous day's candle. And let's go down to the hourly. And here we'll see we have the change in the state of delivery. This is the level we're going to want price to respect. If price runs lower here, we're going to want to see this level respected. And then hopefully see price continue to move higher. We have got smooth edges here. So we've got these little failure swings. Point of interest for me, or at least have my eyes drawn to this. Do we see manipulation lower at New York Open into this bullish gap, sweeping this low, and then continue to move higher? Moving over to gold on the daily, we are getting that move lower. So good call on bias yesterday. I'll leave this line here because it's relevant to the hourly. We had a nice reaction out of this bearish FEG. Price continued to move lower. And we're still inside previous day's range. We've respected the 50% level of that range. So price has moved higher. And we haven't touched up here, but we have tried to move higher and haven't been able to continue. And we can see price moving lower. I'm going to stick with the bearish bias. Let's move to the hourly. And this is that low resistance liquidity here. It just looks very, very clean to me. But can you really draw standard deviations off this? It's too large a range in my opinion. You might want to, if you're going to do it, this is your high candle, so, and you've got a sweep here, so maybe from the body to the body low here. This is your target. There's a target there. Price is continuing to move in a bearish direction. We've been unable to push higher really. We had a change in the state of delivery here. We have expansion, but displacement. And we can see that price is now disrespecting that level. So if that was the bullish change in the state of delivery. Currently, price is disrespecting that level. We could see price reach this target region, so remaining bearish. For gold, Dixie, so on the daily here, if price retraces, we want to see it test this level. We've already swept the low of the previous day into a bullish FEG. I'm going to move this up here. This is our target region. I'm just going to move that over here, and we'll mark out this bullish FEG. But a nice reaction out of that bullish FEG as well. So I can see price continuing to move higher here. Now we'll mark out the 50% level of previous day's wick, because we want to see how price reacts here. Now again, this is a candle closure back inside the range of the previous day, so there's potential for this to be a bearish signal, insight to order flow, showing that price might continue lower. So we'll drop down to the hourly and see what the hourly has for us. Okay, so do we have a change in the state of delivery? It's going to be one of these levels here. I would look at this level, because we want to see this displacement. We have this displacement here. So here we have displacement. So this is a bearish change in the state of delivery. We don't have a reversal here. We're not coming out of a point of interest at the moment. And we don't have a bullish change in the state of delivery. So price respecting bearish PD arrays. We can see the sweep here into the bearish FEG. We could be looking for price to move lower here based off the hourly. I'm going to run the standard deviations. I can run them off the wick, but you'll see the wick, because the wicks are quite large, you can see the distortion there, which is why I'm just using the bodies. So we are at the target region. Price has had a reaction there. We've had a retracement. If price displaces above this level, that would be where I'd be looking for a change in the state of delivery back to bullish. We're in a bullish FEG. We've had a strong reaction there at the moment. I think based on yesterday's close, I'm going to have to look for price to be bearish, and then I'll revisit that if we get a change in the state of delivery here. Even though we are reacting out of this bullish FEG, the candle closure from yesterday gives you insight to order flow, and we do have a bearish change in the state of delivery. So this is the level I'll be watching at the moment to see if price reacts at this level. Okay, let's move on. We better jump over to GU quickly, have a look at the daily. Moving out of a bearish FEG. Most recent information. Large wick to the downside. Yes, it closed inside the range of the previous candle. However, we are getting a strong reaction from this bearish FEG. And order flow is definitely bearish. We can see that. We don't need to mark anything on the chart to see price moving lower here. So we're respecting that. Let's see what price does once it reaches this level here. If anything at all, or we're going to look for price to continue to this low. So bearish for GU. And jumping over to Bitcoin, which I think's had a reasonable day today. Look at that. Okay, here we go. So this was the level that we marked out last week, and we were looking for price to reach to. And price did in fact reach down to this level, swept out all these lows, and didn't we get a beautiful reaction there? Now we're displacing above this bearish FEG as well. So there's some strength here at the moment. We are tapping into, let me get rid of that. Currently tapping into this bearish FEG. So I'm not surprised to see a reaction there. I think if we get a close beyond or a close above this level, then we will look for price to be supported there to continue to move higher. I'm going to stay bullish on Bitcoin. All right. Great video today, guys. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you being here. Remember to sub to the channel, like the video, and definitely leave a comment. I really do appreciate the engagement, guys. Spread the channel far and wide. Let's get to 1,000 subs before the end of January. We've got a bit over half the month left to go. So it's definitely achievable. We are chipping away at it. So if you can help me get to that 1,000 subs, that would be amazing. And if you want to follow me closer, feel free to join Trade Foundry. The link is in the description. Trade Foundries, we're building a really nice community over there. So please feel free to come and join. Sit back and chill with us. We do streams pretty much every day of the week. We do usually New York AM streams. This week, we're not doing Monday, Tuesday, but I'm looking at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right, so please join us over there. We'd love to have you. And also tomorrow is CPI. So if you're looking to expedite your evals, make sure you use code Jimmy and grab those Apex or My Funded Futures evals. Okay, guys, take care. Have a safe Tuesday. Bye for now.